Our next witness is Dr. Asha George. As a public health security professional, Dr. George serves as the Executive Director of the Bipartisan Commission on Biodefense, a commission whose mission is to provide a comprehensive assessment of the state of U.S. biodefense efforts and issue recommendations. She has also served in the U.S. House of Representatives as a subcommittee staff director at the House Committee on Homeland Security, and brings a wealth of experience through her contracting work with DHS and the Department of Health and Human Services. Prior to her role, she served on active duty in the United States Army as a military intelligence officer and is a decorated Desert Storm veteran. Welcome back, Dr. George. Thank you for your service, and you are recognized for your opening comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Peters, Ranking Member Portman, Senator Romney, Senator Padilla, and the rest of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today about the state of American biosecurity preparedness. As the chairman said, I am Asha George. I am the Executive Director of the Bipartisan Commission on Biodefense, which is co-chaired by former Senator and Chairman of this committee, Joe Lieberman, and former Secretary of Homeland Security, Governor Tom Ridge. They and the rest of our commissioners send you their greetings and thank you for continuing to secure the homeland and examine national biodefense. Senator Lieberman and Governor Ridge testified before this very committee in 2015 when our commission released its first report, A National Blueprint on Biodefense. They warned that the biological threat to the nation was rising, and they informed this committee that the nation was insufficiently prepared to handle a large-scale biological event. Sadly, COVID-19 emerged and proved our point. A little over 6 years after that hearing, I come before you today to warn you that, again, while COVID-19 dominates our national and global attention, the biological threat continues to increase, and while some strides have been made, we are still not sufficiently prepared. Last year, the State Department released a report in which it stated clearly and unequivocally that Russia and North Korea now possess active biological weapons programs, with China and Iran not far behind. We must assume that our enemies, both nation states and terrorists, are paying attention to the vulnerabilities revealed during COVID-19, and that we must prepare for an attack on the U.S. homeland with biological weapons. We cannot afford to optimize for COVID-19 or other naturally occurring diseases with pandemic potential to the exclusion of all else. U.S. biopreparedness, as the chairman said, is fractionated, multifaceted, and distributed across all levels of government and much of the private sector. All 15 cabinet departments, 8 independent agencies, and 1 independent institution are responsible for biodefense, including preparedness. Since the release of our blueprint, some improvements have certainly been made. For example, Congress required and the Trump administration released a national biodefense strategy to align all existing policies and programs across the federal government. And the Biden administration is said to be refining that strategy now. But in many other ways, we either made no headway or took backward steps. For example, we participated in exercises that demonstrated over and over again that a large-scale biological event would overcome the government and nation quickly. But we did not take decisive action to ensure that those lessons observed became lessons learned. Many of the Homeland Security assets we have in place today are inadequate to meet the biological threat. We do not believe the Department of Homeland Security's BioWatch program, for example, will be able to detect biological attacks on our country effectively. Last year, we issued a report, Saving Sisyphus, Advanced Biodetection for the 21st Century, to describe our concerns and make recommendations as to what can be done to achieve the vision for the BioWatch program begun in 2003. It has been painful watching the DHS try over and over again, like Sisyphus pushing the boulder up the mount, to create an effective biodetection system that serves the needs of the nation. Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member, and members of the committee, I suggest to you that 19 years is long enough for things to have gone on the way they have with this program. We recommend that you either shut it down or replace it with a program that works the way you want it to. Our states, localities, and taxpayers deserve no less, and the good people working in the Department of Homeland Security deserve some relief. I want to applaud the biodefense efforts of FEMA, the Coast Guard, CBP, ICE, the Secret Service, TSA, and CISA. All contribute directly to defending the nation against biological threats. They deserve your awareness, oversight, and support. But as you examine the department's Countering Weapons of Mass Destruction Office, I urge the committee to clarify its role. The legislation authorizing this office lacks direction and specificity, and it needs direction and guidance from you. Thank you again for the opportunity to come before you today with the concerns and recommendations of the Bipartisan Commission on Biodefense. I would like to thank Hudson Institute for serving as our fiscal sponsor, our donors for supporting the work of the Commission, and congressional staff, of course, for their tireless efforts to address this important topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. George.